everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for Getting Started as an MSP. Managed services continues to be one of the fastest growing opportunities in IT. More businesses are looking to outsource security, infrastructure, and day-to-day technology management, and that creates a huge opportunity for partners who want to build recurring revenue and kind of deeper customer relationships. But getting started as a managed service provider can raise a lot of questions. Where do you begin? What services should you offer first? How do you build the right operational model without overwhelming your team? That's what this series is going to cover. In this session, we'll walk through the fundamentals of launching or expanding your MSP practice. So we'll look at what it means to become an MSP. We'll look at some research, and we'll talk about how to get started. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm Amelia Foss, Product Marketing here at SonicWall, and joining us today is Scott Jenkins, Solutions Architect. Scott has a long-standing history of working with SonicWall MSPs, helping them get onboarded and find continued success throughout their partnership. So he's going to share some really valuable insights as you start your journey. And with that, take it away, Scott.
Thanks so much, Amelia. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. And so wanted to start first with the MSP maturity model, right? As we go from a VAR to a managed service, it really changes how you think, how you do business, and really kind of going through the steps of what do I do? As a VAR, you have your products that you can support, but you really come in, you install it, and then you're done. What about the care and feeding? What about the ongoing management? Those kind of things. So really, when you're looking at an MSP or starting your MSP, it's like, okay, chaos is really just the ad hoc efforts, right? That's your standard VAR, where I do things on a per project basis. There isn't a lot of repetition. Ideally, we keep our customers that come back to us once in a while, but they only come back to us when there's pain. But you as a VAR have to maintain your staff and all of your overhead costs in between those projects, right? Which is really where the drive to recurring revenue comes from and why we want to embrace the MSP model. So the first thing you have to do is define your products, define what platform you're going to do, look at what your staff are capable of doing, and then work up through reportable, right? Every MSP starts the relationship with the customer based on trust. When that trust gets questioned, and it will, you have to have a report, right? So managed IT is an intangible product. So if you can't report on it, it didn't happen. If it didn't happen, nobody appreciates all the hard work you're doing to do it. And they certainly don't want to pay for that, right? So we'll go, kind of talk about that as you go through. And then, of course, just as you mature, get more to that managed, then it's less large strokes and more tweaking. And we just kind of work our way through the model. Today, we're just going to kind of talk about those first couple zones, and we'll work on, and then we'll go through what's next. So MSP versus VAR, right? So as a value-added reseller, most sales are project-based. You may have a large sales staff, those kind of things. And so coming in, you have your vendors you work with, you come in, you engage with them, and then you leave. Your vendor relationships, your customers, again, kind of the same thing. You come in, you do a project, and you leave, right? So very, very, very transactional. Not a lot of talking in between the two until the next project is done. And of course, your customer relations. You meet with them when you have something to do, and you don't, other than from a sales capacity. From MSP point of view, your sales are ongoing, right? You have that ongoing monthly service. So every month you're doing something for them. You're earning your keep. You're maintaining their systems. Your job is to make sure your customer is successful and that their systems are running properly. So you're managing those. You're monitoring services in case they're going down, doing preventative maintenance, all that stuff. Your vendor relations. Now you're looking for someone who's going to help you scale, right? You can't always spend a large amount of money and then wait to get paid back. They need to work the way you work, right? Which means Annual pricing is great, but monthly is better, right? When I can map my cost to my income. So working with those vendor relationships, maintaining that mutually successful partner relationship, VARs, vendor, MSPs, you're really looking for a partner, right? Everybody's your brother till the rent's due. I want a relationship where that partner is going to come back and help me out, and we're going to grow together. Because when I grow, they grow, right? So it's really in that best thing. And again, relations, again, relational. You're going to talk to them every month. You're going to have quarterly business reviews. And then those quarterly business reviews, you may look at ticket reports, you may look at other reporting, and that really gets back into that. If you didn't document it, then it didn't happen, and they're not going to appreciate all your hard work. So coming in and maintaining those relationships and continuously reinforcing your value is really where it's at. Let's go ahead and move on. Perfect. So transforming your business from monthly services. So if you're a value-added reseller or if you're building a new MSP, what are my services? And don't try to put 50 of them in the very first iteration. Excuse me. And define some phases, right? With ironclad deliverables, with timelines, right? So we want to go through and look at what do I do to, create those ongoing communications? How do I capture that? If I have 30 customers, how do I know which request came in first, right? How do you manage that data flow and communications? Excuse me, defining your line card. And this is really where what partners can I work with? Especially if you're starting, you may not have a volume that allows you a large partnership with someone. So looking for the vendors that you can minimize the amount of partners you work with, getting something that allows you to run across your business as much as possible, and really working on, can your staff push those out, right? What's their expertise? And if they don't have it, how easy is it to get that relationship going? And can I lean on the vendor in the meantime if I do have some training things to go? And we'll talk about a little bit of that as well. Envisioning what products and services SonicWall could add to your solutions, right? These are the things we want to talk about, right? And if you're working with our endpoint or switches, APs, firewalls, right? Remote access, ETNA, SOC services, right? Managed services. How do I concentrate all of that together so that I can be, if more services to one vendor, I'm now a bigger fish to that vendor. And that really helps drive those relationships, deeper discounts, those kind of things. And so, it's a relationship. So you're investing in us, we invest in you, and it really that works. And that's how you build those stronger vendor relationships. How do you co-brand marketing? How do you work on trainings for your staff? All of these things are how you create that relationship with that vendor. And really it's a two-way street. And then of course, really at the end of this, I keep going back to the reporting from my 20-ish years in the MSP world, right? Showing your value to your customers with your vendor partners, right? So, because it's all about you, it's about your business, your MSP practice, and how the reporting that shows the customer how great of a job you're doing with us. And that's really what we want to help you month after month demonstrate. So when we talk to end customers, this is actually research from the Channel Company, and they went out and talked to MSP customers. What differentiates? What's important to you? What makes one MSP different from another? And overwhelmingly, 67%, right? It's the people. Staff are your product. It's also your most expensive cost. So it's important to be staffed well, right? So that technical expertise, that customer service, that's really what makes you, right? Your processes, how you conduct yourself, and the expertise that you have. Now, comprehensive technology offering in your stack. Number 2, right? So picking the right partners, coming in and being able to run across that plethora. And It really used to be he who has the best tools wins, used to be the adage in the IT world, but it's really he who knows how to use his tools best wins. So really it's a little different. We're going to talk about, that in throughout this series about how your staff can use the different products to be successful, how we plug holes in there and allow you to support your customers as they grow from whatever they need to do. And then, of course, working through innovation and some of the different delivery methods. And so we really want to work on those processes, but really what's important, right? So your staff, your expertise, your processes, and then your technology stack. And then there's a whole bunch of different things there, right? Industry, vertical expertise, comprehensive SLAs. Did you say what you were going to do, when you were going to do it, and do you actually deliver that, right? So all these are important things. And then customer choice. And like I said, it's not all about annual contracts. SonicWall offers annual pricing. We also offer monthly pricing or as a service thing. So it's giving your customers options. Not everybody has a big bank account. Sometimes they manage everything out of what comes in the door each month, right? So we have to meet our customers where they are. And this is where I want to drive that people, process, technology, right? So people being at the top of that pyramid, this is where, again, this is your staff, their expertise. How can we grow them? How do we invest in your people so that they represent you well as the owner? SonicWall is there for the technology and the services that empower those people to be the rock stars that they need to be. And then together we bring those processes together for that shared success. And so really want to walk through all of that, but I think that really in a nutshell talks about how we're going to come through and have that shared success.
Great. Thank you so much, Scott. I think that was a great introduction to, becoming an MSP. If you're ready to get started, we do encourage you to join the partner program and just take advantage of the tools, the resources, the support, the training that we have here at SonicWall, all designed to help you launch and grow and just be successful with your managed services business. So thanks again for joining us today. We look forward to supporting you on your MSP journey. Join us for the next video in this series, People, Process, and Technology, where we walk through what our platform products and services can do for you and where to get started, really just helping define your service offering. That's all for today. Thanks.